Hi guys, I wanted to talk about the hearing today with talk about the hearing today with Amy Comey Barrett. The questioning during the hearing with con artist, Senator of California, Kamala Harris. The same Kamala Harris who's a fraud and couldn't answer a simple question about court packing when Pence was debating her and won that debate, by the way. It may have something to do with the fact that Kamala Harris went to school at the University of Jerry Springer, because I can't figure out why she's Senator of California. Other than that, she's trash, and these Democrats are so evil. She's a perfect fit for them. Trash up here, trash mouth, lies, fraud. And it's a sad shame that you are senator of my state. Um, Something needs to be done about you and Newsom. So during the hearing, Kamala had made a statement, a very foolish statement. And a lot of their scare tactics, they keep saying that people are scared. They're using scare tactics to manipulate people who are watching this hearing, who are vulnerable and may not know better. And Kamala had went on to say that as far as the ACA is concerned, Harris came out and openly said there's no alternative or anything better. There's no other that's better or affordable that's available regarding health care. Nothing out there exists other than ACA. There's no alternative and there's no better. And to say a stupid comment like that when President Trump has come up with something more affordable with prescription drugs, all non-existing or pre-existing conditions are included. These devils, and I just don't know why they would come out and say something like this and then say people are scared. It's because they use scare tactics and they want to manipulate people into being scared, into feeling that they have to be scared, that it's their job to be scared, that they should be scared and vote against our president. So that's a huge farce right there. Now, she also went into questioning, asking Amy. Harris asked, are you aware or not aware of who Donald Trump would, nominate as judge to the Supreme Court that would take away ACA? Or, again, she asked, were you aware of Donald Trump nominations of judges to strike down the ACA? And Amy Comey Barrett answered her question. And when Harris didn't get what she was fishing for, she asked the same question with a little alteration of time. And what I mean by that is she asked, was she aware of Donald Trump seeking judges to strike for the Supreme Court to strike ACA? She was asking if she had seen messages or heard about it. And Amy said, I don't recall or remember seeing or hearing such statements. And then Harris came back and said, well, what about before this hearing? Do you recall hearing such statements? And so Amy said, okay, so now you're changing the frame of your question. And so Amy answered her again and said, what I said was, when I had my calls regarding before this hearing, I did have my calls with Democrat senators. this question came up, and I don't recall exactly, but they may have made reference this question into the calls. Harris went on to ask, do you think it's important to be fair and impartial when you're judging in the court? And then she asked Amy if she would recuse herself, I can't say that word, if necessary, within those court confines of those court judgments and hearings. And, you know, Amy, guys, she's sharp. She's a scholar. She's a super mom. She has adopted 2 kids. She's been a judge. She's has commitments to her community. This woman knows law like the back of her hand because she's talked about it so much in her daily life, whether she's instructing it or she's ruling it. And Amy just came out and said, listen, you really can't expect me to make that a decision right here with you because that's wrong. And, you know, Harris didn't like the fact that Amy was in control of the questioning. Harris wasn't getting anywhere. She wasn't getting what she wanted out of this hearing to make and vilify Amy look bad. And Harris asked, in regarding making rulings, do you consider how it affects and ruling people's lives, how that ruling affects people's lives? And Amy was like, you know, of course I consider it, my rulings affecting people's lives. That's like the basis, the 101 of being a judge, of making rulings in a court. That's like, you know, that's the way she answered it. It was like, that's like the basics. And then, you know, Kamala Harris started kind of like tripping up, stuttering a little bit. And she's so stupid. She asked the same question again. And she asked if she would consider, you know, fairness in court rulings and how that would affect, the rulings would affect someone's life in Supreme Court. And again, you know, Amy knew she was dealing with a trifling fraud, and she repeated her answer, and she said, of course, this is what the basis of what court ruling is about, and of course, yes, to the best of my ability. And when Harris realized she couldn't get blood out of a turnip, guys, I mean, you're comparing Dumb and Dumber to someone who is spiritually evolved and very strong and solid, who is a super mom. I mean, this woman is the epitome of perfection. These Democrats questioning her, you know, Amy may look, you know, small and frail, but she's a force to be reckoned with. When it comes to the forces of our earth, with what's good and what's right, and with the power of God, you're talking about a force that they are scared that they're going to have to be reckoned with if and when President Trump has to go to court because he's been frauded out of his election. And the list goes on with these devils, you know, our president having to micromanage these devils for everything they're imposing on him, all the fraud they're imposing on him, from the debates to the election, the ballots. And they don't want her to be in the court. when President Trump has to go make his case about possibly, potentially being frauded out of his own election. And this really frustrated Harris. She couldn't get blood out of a turnip. Amy Barrett made it clear that it is in fact standard practice to take everyone's life into account when judging a case. She went on to say, Amy Barrett, that legal calculus of a case is weighed during an actual case, not here. She was referring to Harris, just, the questions Harris was asking her. And it was a dead end for Harris. She couldn't get anywhere. And Harris is talking with someone who is a master scholar. It is God's will to have Amy in the highest court, ninth justice. These devils are trying to use any excuse and lies to say this is about the ACA. I'm sorry, our president's going to come up with something better for everybody. He already has. And the fact that the Roe versus Wade, this is what it's all about, guys. When Harris realized she wasn't getting anywhere, she slammed down her ironclad abuse of authority tyrant fist and says, I request a letter opposing Judge Barrett's nomination from NAACP. I also request a statement opposing Judge Barrett's nomination from the Planned Parenthood Federation of America and Planned Parenthood Parent Fund. Harris requested a report opposing Judge Barrett's nomination for the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund. So, just like I said yesterday, guys, this is not about the ACA. They could care less about people. As we can see with how they're spreading coronavirus with their Antifa, how they're using Antifa to attack our communities and people and businesses, how they're continuously strangleholding this country with their BS and lies, their agenda, communist, socialist agenda. So anyways, she opposed Amy Comey Barrett's nomination as Supreme Court judge. And at the end of the day, guys, this is all about keeping the legal structure open so they can have access to these babies' organs that are getting aborted for organ harvesting in the black market. Huge money. These Democrat senators and Democrat governors, mayors, they're not walking around with homes they can't afford for nothing. When it comes down to organ harvesting, being in bed with Planned Parenthood, they've handpicked people out of Planned Parenthood and replaced these people over time with people who have bought and been bribed into the system of organ harvesting on the black market, with these children being aborted up to the last month, 9 months, and also being killed after they're born. So this is just about them making their money on the black market with organ harvesting. And again, I mentioned there's a restaurant here in Los Angeles called, I think, Club Cabal. It's Cabal, but Club, I think it's Club Cabal. And on their menu, like I stated on my video yesterday, on their menu, on their website, they talk about how they have meat only from healthy and young children. And they have placenta. So all this goes hand in hand with them drinking the blood, eating organs, eating children, selling the organs on the black market. I mean, these guys are evil. And it's exactly why President Trump doesn't even mess with these fools. It's so unbelievable, guys, but it's true. These are Satanists. Anyways, I wish someone would question them about how they go about their religion, because what I just said, that's what their religion entails. Eating human beings, murdering human beings, drinking their blood. And they're fighting hand, tooth, and nail to not have their Roe versus Wade messed with, so they can keep on making that money from the organ harvesting and doing whatever they want to these babies, whether it's consuming them in one way or another and making money in one way or another with their body and organs. So Kamala Harris, epic fail. Just like Amy Klobuchar, whatever the hell her name is. You guys are all frauds, fools. There has to be a University of Jerry Springer somewhere, because you guys are I could say this, I'm a citizen, I'm no one famous. You guys are dumber than a bag of rocks. You're a laughing stock. You're a laughing stock. I'm so glad we get to see you devils come on and speak, because I get to kind of see how corrupt each and every single one of you are when you open up your mouth. Senator Booker, New Jersey, corrupt to the bone. Stupid. You need acting lessons. So anyways, guys, we got a lot of corrupt criminals. They're not, I don't even call them Democrats. They're political criminals that make Bloods and Crips look like Yogi the Bear and Boo Boo. That's how evil these devils are. And I'm very, very proud of Amy. She is resilient because of who she is. And she has a solid mind and a solid heart. And these devils, when they start asking her questions like Harris, she's almost laughing inside. I can almost feel and hear her laughing inside, because Harris couldn't question her and debate her on the legal system and judging, what it takes to be a judge in a court, let alone Supreme Court, on her last dying day. No matter how many people wrote scripts for Harris could never ever one up Amy on anything. You're a fool, Harris. And it makes me sick that you are the senator of my state. Our state, guys, is going down the tubes because of these corrupt Democrat governor, mayors, senators. California is going down the damn toilet. So, thank you, Jesus, for Amy Comey Barrett. These Democrats are going to be crying and whining. They're going to be making up fake reasons why we shouldn't have Amy in the ninth justice. But it's God's will. It's Jesus Christ's will. Promise you. Alright, guys. Trump 2020. And thank you, Amy, so much for accepting the nomination from Donald Trump. And you stick to who you are. Remember who you are when you talking and dealing with these devils during these hearings, because let me tell you, they're going to come at us from all directions. But at the end of the day, they don't have a chance. When we stand tall, we stick together, they don't got a chance, guys. All right, Trump 2020. And God bless everybody. Stay strong and stay true to yourselves. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.